Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. A double honors to the apostles and others at Great Millstone. Salutations to you, brothers and sisters out there doing the work of truth and necessary. All right, so the name of this lesson, self-explanatory. As you see on the screen, it says, white people are the best thing to ever happen to the world. Columbia University students rant goes viral. All right, so we know that the so-called white man is the worst thing that ever happened to the world. Neocolonialism, them coming over here to North America, South and Central America, and even Canada, displacing all the tribes, rape, robbing, and murdering people on the planet Earth. The so-called white man has taken peace from the earth rather than give it. We understand this through history and the historical events of the wars. All right. But, this video, man, just to show you the pride of the so-called white man who is the devil, according to the Bible. The only person on the planet Earth that has absolutely no care for human beings, other life, anywhere on the planet Earth. That's why they have the greatest military known throughout history. They have absolutely really have not done anything towards humanitarian efforts across the planet. If they do, they're vaccinating people and covertly destroying people, exploiting people. And this has been the plight of the so-called white men ever since their inception, ever since their beginning. All right, like I said, man, the so-called white man, Cain was the first murderer, but the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is the last murderer. All right. And our Lord, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he's definitely going to take them out. All right. And his purpose, his sole purpose was to take the devil out. OK, so he can reign supreme here on this earth. All right. And hey, man, these events, these things that's taking place, people revealing who they are, revealing, their hatred. All right. And their supremacy over the nation is quite evident, man. It's nothing that you can hide and sweep under the rug, because it's like a bubble, man. It's going to eventually to pop. And I'm going to just play this real quick. If it's commercial, it'd probably be a commercial, but hopefully it's not.
A night of reflection for students only, Monday night at Columbia University's Lerner Hall, following a weekend of racial tension, all triggered by this.
All right, so Satan, every time, it never fails. All right, so Salakia, I'm gonna try to play a video again. All right, so bear with me. The guy, pretty much the guy, he does what any other Edomite who has race pride. He does anything any other Edomite would do, which is, have, pride in their race. But what he doesn't understand is that they are the most despised nation in the world. All right. So I'm trying to play this again, man. In fact, let me see if I can find a YouTube feed. Just bear with me for a second. Salakia. All right, so I found it. All right, here we go.
White people are the best thing that ever happened. In a racially charged rant, a Columbia University sophomore harasses and shouts white supremacist ideologies at a group of primarily minority students. We built the modern world. Europeans built the modern world. The incident happened
All right, so there's definitely no truth in that. Some truth. Only because he's coming from a Edomite perspective. All right, the Edomites, the so-called white man, has enslaved the nations of the earth, mainly the so-called blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. and has used us, free slave labor, to build their empire. So really, we built this world. We built the modern world. A lot of inventions were created by so-called blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, and they were patented by white people. Okay, and this is all history that you can look up. Black inventors and the so-called white man has been exploiting people for the longest, especially you tribes, man, you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. So this is nothing more than a prideful statement from a low-level Edomite who has absolutely no understanding on how the modern world came about. Okay, he's just puffed up in pride. But the scriptures speak about the so-called white man and his pride, because the so-called white man, which is Esau, Edom, is the primary target of the Most High when he brings his wrath and judgment upon the earth. Okay, right along with the nations of the world, the regular people, the general people, which the word general is Gentiles. But we know we the blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, and the dispersed of the nation of Israel, the confusion of face. We are the sole inheritors of the earth. We built this earth. We built this world. We are the salt of this world, and this place wouldn't be nowhere without us. So this is Jeremiah 49:15. It says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, all right, and despised among men." And the nations hate the so-called white man. When you deal with the Arabs, the Ishmaelites, they call him the great Satan. All right. The Chinese don't like you, which are the Moabites. The Ammonites don't like you. They want to kick you out their countries. You're being kidnapped. All right. In South Africa. All right. You're being kicked out of the land. Your land is being taken away from you due to the apartheid that happened during the 90s and the slaughtering of those South Africans. So the nations don't want you in their land anymore. All right. And this is evident. This is actual current events that's happening. All right. Hey, so-called blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, you're waking up, to the bullshit. Those that don't agree with the system and how it run and how it's being ran. All right. So it's a lot of things we can go in on and speak about. But hey, the scripture as it says, man, and it's talking about Esau first and foremost. All right. All right. So Salakia, because I believe yeah, here we go. But I have made Esau bare. And it's speaking on Esau. This is Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. And for so long, the so-called white man has been able to hide himself because the whole term white man is a made up notion. All right. They're not white. OK. White it represents purity, and they're not pure. They're far from pure. All right. And they don't have melanin skin tone or dark hue or dark skin tone. And they're pale pink, I guess you can say, a derivative of red, which goes back to their father Edom, Adawam, all right, which means red. Okay, so we know who you are, and the Most High has revealed you, so you can't hide in the earth anymore, and that's what the so-called white man. The only thing the so-called white man has contributed to history is lies more than anything. Okay. And it says, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. Look, and this is the seed, man. And they don't know that they're spoiled. They're going to be taken in great number. Okay. They don't know. So that's why, they think that they, like somebody used to say, they woke up on third base, All right. And, you haven't earned anything. All right. Everything that you procured has been stolen. Okay, so enough of that. I'm gonna just go ahead and get into the scripture. It says his seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus said the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink the cup have assuredly drunken, And that was you nations, you blacks, lands, and Native Americans, you tribes, you Israelites. Okay, because the scriptures talk about the heathen forwarding the affliction, so they made things worse there. All right, so it says, and art thou he that shall together go unpunished? So the Most High is asking, are you altogether shall go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste. And it's going to be here in America, because it's, this is the den of where all the wickedness comes from, where all the ideals and the philosophies come from. And the universities that they go through, the institutions, they create think tanks to do a diligent search, to search out iniquities, and, to make laws against the laws of the Bible. Okay. All right. So I continue. It says, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. And that's why World War III is in the mix. We're in the midst of World War III. There is a world war that's actually happening. It says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. It's talking about Esau. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee. In thy pride, in the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, because why? We call America cave city. This is a cave empire. All right. It says that holdest the height of the hill, meaning, king of the hill, and the hill represents basically the nations. All right. It says, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, hence that's even the American symbol. All right. The eagle. All right. So it says, it's spiritual. All right. It says, I will bring thee down from thence, said the Lord. All right. And there's a particular time that happened. All right. So they tried to make them their nest as high as the eagle. OK, with their satellites. All right. So that's when the Most High started bringing this place down. And now I believe they're late 60s, mid 60s, 70s, when America has dramatically seen a change economically that happened, because during the roaring 50s, 40s, the 50s, they were extorting nations. All right. They stole scientists. They created the atomic bomb. They were flourishing during the 50s. OK, it says, every one, Salaki, also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. And we know that Esau wasn't done away with in recent history. Esau still exists. His descendants still exist. Okay. Because it says every one that goeth by it shall be astonished. So if they were taken out, or if they were done away with, people would be astonished. It would be all over museums and history, and that'd be the main thing we'd be talking about, the downfall. You know how they look up Atlantis, and they do searches for Atlantis. It would have been like that. But your future, you're gonna be a lost civilization. All right, you're gonna be. Nobody's gonna know you even existed within the next 50 to 100 years, man. I mean, less than that, Salakia. That's way too far off. And in a very few, man, the Lord is gonna do away with you as a dream, man. It's gonna be like a dream, because it's a nightmare that the so-called white man is ruling the earth. Okay. It says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. All right. Because America's going to get wiped off the face of the planet Earth, man. All right. Okay, so I get Obadiah. So Salaki, bear with me for a second. Oh wow, this is the scripture I wanted to get to, Ecclesiasticus. But I'm gonna get Obadiah 1 and 3, man. All right. And it's saying the same thing, man. It says Obadiah 1 and 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right. So, hey, the nations really hate you for the things that you have done throughout the whole earth, man. All right. You're really despised, so-called white man. You're not the greatest thing that happened to the earth. You're the worstest thing that happened to the earth. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right. And that's how you Edomites, you so-called white people, think that you're not going to be brought down. All right. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which, hey, that's the American symbol, is it not? It says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. And you have set your nest among the stars. You have set up NASA as a think tank, and they have been trying to search the heavens. Okay. Which that's an oath that the Most High made with the children of Israel to all the nations. Hey, if you can search the sea beneath, or I'm roughly paraphrasing it, and if you can search the heavens above in its entirety, then thus will he do away with the children of Israel. But, that's not going to happen, man, So it's like it says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? All right. And Esau doesn't leave anything in sight. All right. So Salaki, it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right. Hey, man. Hey, the Most High is revealed. And that's when we read Jeremiah 49, man. He said he shall uncover thy skirts. All right. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right. Shall I not in that day? All right. So all the nations are going to turn against you, so-called white man. And you see it. You just see it, and you know it. A lot of you white people know that shit. That the whole earth is against you, but it's by your own doing. It's by your pride. Your own pride has destroyed you, which is a beautiful thing, man. All right. It says there is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom and understanding out of the mountain of Esau? All right. So it's clear you see a stupid Edomite making a rant about white people being the greatest thing that ever happened to the earth when in fact it's the opposite. So pretty much that's what I had through the spirit. I didn't, I just went off the cuff. Hey, Lord willing, this is edifying, but we know that soon enough, man, their power has left and leaving them. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Idab honors the apostles, and those are great millstone salutations to you, Akim. Shalom, shalom.